Hello, everyone. This is Michael E. Sansom, evangelist, Michael Sansom Ministries. This lesson is going to be on the pre-tribulation rapture. Is it real? There's going to be two parts, part one and part two. This is part one. So here we go. Discussions are constantly held on if ever a rapture event will take place. Many do not believe in rapture events because it is not found in the Bible. It is true that the word rapture is not found in the Bible, so let's play or check on what is there. But first, let me give you some relevant history. The original Encyclopedia Britannica lists biblical translation as the art and practice of rendering the Bible into languages other than those in which it was originally written. The Jewish Bible, the Old Testament, was originally written almost entirely in Hebrew, with a few short elements in Aramaic. When the Persian Empire controlled the East Mediterranean basin, Aramaic became the lingua franca of the area. Note, lingua franca refers to the common language used for communication. Thus, for liturgical reasons, it became necessary for the Jewish communities of the region to have the Torah or Pentateuch, the first five books of the Bible, translated into the common language from traditional Hebrew, referred today as Biblical Hebrew, and the resulting Targums from Aramaic Meturgemin translator survived after the original Hebrew scrolls had been lost. By the mid-3rd BCE, Greek was the dominant lingua franca, and Jewish scholars began the task of translating the Hebrew canon into that language, an undertaking that was not completed for more than a century. This because tradition held that each of the 12 tribes of Israel contributed 6 scholars to the project. The Greek version of the Jewish Bible came to be known later in Latin as the Septuagint, Septuaginta 70. The Hebrew Scriptures were the only Bible the early Christian church knew. As the religion spread out through the Greek-speaking world, Christians adopted the Septuagint. In the meantime, many of the books of the Christian Bible, the New Testament, were first written or recorded in Greek and others in Aramaic. The spread of Christianity necessitated further translations of both the Old and New Testaments into Coptic, Ethiopian, Gothic, and more important, Latin. In 406 AD, St. Jerome finished translating a Latin version that was based in part on the Septuagint, called the Vulgate. Despite errors introduced by copyists, became the standard of Western Christianity for 1,000 years or more. Hebrew scholars at Talmudic schools in Palestine and Babylonia about the 6th century CE began trying to retrieve and codify the Hebrew Scriptures, restoring them authoritatively and in the Hebrew language. Over centuries, they labored to complete the traditional or Masoretic text, which since its completion in the 10th century has come to be universally accepted. The Masoretic version was translated by scribes with amazing fidelity down to the time of movable type in the 15th century. Jerome's Latin Vulgate served as a basis for translations of both the Old and New Testament into Syriac, Arabic, Spanish, and many other languages, including English. The Vulgate provided the basis for the Douay Rheims Bible, New Testament 1582, Old Testament 1609 to 1610, which remained the only authorized Bible in English for Roman Catholics until the 20th century. The new learning in the 15th and 16th centuries revived the study of ancient Greek and led to new translations, among them an important one by the Dutch humanist Desiderius Erasmus, who in 1516 published an edition of the New Testament containing the Greek text and his own translation into Latin. Meanwhile, in Germany, Martin Luther produced the first complete translation from the original Greek and Hebrew into a modern European language. This German language translation of the New Testament was published in 1522 and that of the Complete Bible in 1534. This remained the official Bible for German Protestants and was a basis for Danish, Swedish, and other translations. The first complete English language version of the Bible dates from 1382 and was accredited to John Wycliffe and his followers, but it was the work of the scholar William Tyndale, who from 1525 to 1535 translated the New Testament and part of the Old Testament, that became the model for a series of subsequent English translations. All previous English translations culminated in the King James Version 1611, known in England as the Authorized Version, which was prepared by 54 scholars appointed by King James I. Avoiding strict literalism in favor of an extensive use of synonym, it was a masterpiece of Jacobean English and the principal Bible used by English-speaking Protestants for 270 years. About the time of the invention of printing in 1450, there were only 33 different translations of the Bible. By about 1800, the number had risen to 71. By the late 20th century, the entire Bible had been translated into more than 250 languages, and portions of the Bible had been published in more than 1,300 of the world's languages. New translations of the Bible into English proliferated in the 20th century. Among the more recent Protestant Bibles are the Revised Version 1881 to 85, a revision of the King James Version, the Revised Standard Version 1946 to 52, the New Revised Standard Version 1989, the New International Version 1978, and the English Standard Version in 2001, which are widely accepted by American Protestants, and the New English Bible 1961 to 70, and the Revised English Bible 1989. Among the Roman Catholic Bibles are a translation by Ronald Knox, 1945 to 49, the Jewish Bible, 1966, the New Jerusalem Bible, 1985, the New American Bible, 1970, the Revised Standard Version, Catholic Edition, 1966, also called the Ignatius Bible, and the New Revised Standard Version, Catholic Edition, 1989. Now, this is a short thing for part one, but it was important that when you start talking about the book of Revelation or anything about the Bible and what the translations say and what they mean, it's important to know the history of the translations. And so you can apply them in really deep study, and you can apply into what they were in the beginning. Like, for example, the New Testament was actually written in Greek and Aramaic. So we need to consider that when anytime we're looking back on what the root meanings were of words and everything like that. So be looking forward for you to watching part 2, and that will be uploaded soon. So please do what you can to read that, and I sure appreciate it. God bless you all, and have a great year.